Hi, my name is Vikram and I'm the CEO of Talent 500. We're a platform that helps technology professionals discover life-changing and career-changing opportunities with some of the world's best companies. Now, we conduct a lot of interviews for our customers. In fact, over the last 15 years, we've hired more than 100,000 professionals across our customer base, which means we do more than 15,000 interviews a month. Interviews can be hard. Here are 3 tough questions that you might hear in your interviews and how to answer them. So question number 1, walk us through your resume or tell me a little bit about yourself. This is probably going to be the first question that you hear at every interview. Now, the answer to this is not literal. Nobody really wants to know about everything you've done in your career. What the recruiter or the hiring manager on the other side is really trying to ask you is, tell me about the important parts about your career that I really need to know and understand before I make my decision. The best way to do this is to start from your most recent experience and work backwards. Try and spend 30 seconds or so on every experience. Highlight the most critical aspects, talk about the impact you've created and the results and not just the responsibilities. And if possible, pause between each experience to see for reaction or for questions. As you go through this question, you'll automatically figure out where the recruiter is interested in asking you more questions, and in those, maybe spend a little bit more time. But remember, this question really helps you define the pace and the mood for the rest of the interview. So prep for it well, rehearse it a little bit, try and keep your answers short but interesting, and emphasize the most important aspects of your career. Question number 2. Tell us about a time when you used critical thinking to solve a particular problem. Or tell us about a time when you displayed leadership experience. Or tell us about a time when you used XYZ to solve for ABC. The answer to this question can be typically structured using the STAR framework, which is situation, task, action, and result. Using this framework allows your interviewer to really sort of understand the situation you were in. What was the problem you were facing? What was your solution? What was the action that you took? And therefore, what was the result that you delivered? This framework allows you to be very clear and crisp with your answer, at the same time giving enough room for your interviewer to ask you questions or go deeper in any aspect of the framework that we described. Again, try and keep your initial explanation between 2 and 3 minutes while giving the interviewer enough room to ask you further questions or build up to anything that you might have said. Question number 3. What are some of the difficult tasks that you've worked on in your career? Tell us some of the times that you've failed in your career, or tell us about some of the times that you've succeeded in your career. Now, for all these questions, it's very easy if you have a couple of incidents ready and prepared beforehand. Ensure that you go into an interview with a couple of stories that might be interesting and can answer a couple of these scenarios well. When the question is asked, ask for a few minutes to pause and reflect. Make sure you can customize your answer, which is specific to the question that's being asked. Keep it crisp and high level so you can leave room for follow-on questions, and make sure you're answering exactly what is asked. And here's a bonus tip for your interviews. Make sure that you have 1 or 2 questions ready in advance to ask the interviewer once the interview is done. It shows that you're genuinely curious and interested in the company that you're interviewing for. Also gives the interviewer a chance to sell to you the company that you are potentially going to be hired in. So make sure you have that ready and go and interview like a boss. All the best. So now you know how to answer the hardest interview questions that you could potentially be asked. What's next? Well, next is you join Talent 500 and discover career-changing opportunities with some of the world's best company. We'll see you there.